Peter, I heard about database transactions, but what exactly do they do?
Transactions group multiple operations like inserts, updates, and deletes into a single atomic action, ensuring that either all changes commit together or none at all, and that concurrent transactions don't see each other's uncommitted work.
Amazing, but that sounds like magic. How is this achieved?
Postgres uses MVCC, multi-version concurrency control, which gives each transaction a consistent snapshot of the database. Inserts add a new row visible only to that transaction until commit. Updates insert a fresh version of the row only new transactions can see. Deletes mark rows as hidden without removing them, so older transactions still see them. Commits then expose changes globally, and rollbacks discard uncommitted versions.
MVCC sounds great, but wouldn't that mean I'd have to keep as many copies of data as there are database connections, so each can have its own snapshot?
Not exactly. Each row in Postgres has transaction IDs xmine and xmax. Xmine marks the creating transaction ID, and xmax marks the deleting or updating transaction ID. Each transaction determines which row versions to include in its own snapshot by checking whether its transaction ID falls between a row's xmin and xmax. If xmin is committed before the snapshot and xmax is either unset or committed after, the row is visible, letting Postgres build an isolated view without copying data per connection.
But would updating a single row many times make it so that a row can have multiple xmin and xmax IDs?
That's the beautiful part. Postgres is what's known as an append-only database, meaning that rows in Postgres are never actually updated. Each update inserts a new row and marks the previous as deleted by giving it an xmax. Rows which have xmax ID as lower than any active transaction are later deleted by a process known as vacuum.
Wow, I never would have guessed that transactions work like that.
Exactly. That's what makes SQL databases so powerful. They ensure concurrency control and data consistency under the hood, sparing your application logic from having to manage it manually.